Hey guys, NSC85, and today I'm going to put on my scope mount, scope rings, and my scope onto my customized Ruger 1022 that I got here. So, it's a little bit different than a regular scope mount, only because this is an aluminum receiver, which means it's a little bit softer than steel. So I have a little bit different way of doing it than I normally would on, let's say, like a 30-06 hunting rifle or something. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, as you can see here, I'm zoomed in on the receiver, and let me just talk about the tools you're going to need. First, you're going to need a scope mount. This is the one that comes with Ruger. This one's junk, so throw that one away. You want to get a nice one like this Weaver. This is a Weaver 430T. It also says 48335. So this is the one that I got. This is the one that I'll be using. It's about 20 times better than the crap you get from Ruger. You'll also need some medium strength thread lock. This is Permatex brand. Some toothpicks. And if you have it, you might want a torque wrench too. Oh, of course, you're going to need some levels and some scope rings. I decided Burris Signature was what I wanted to use. So let's go ahead and start on the receiver first. So we have these 4 screws that come from the factory in the receiver. So we want to remove those first. Careful not to, of course, scrape the finish. Got number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So now you can see we have 4 holes in the receiver. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a little bit of the thread lock and we're going to place it on the screw threads with a toothpick. You don't want too much, but you want enough where it's going to stay. Okay, so we got some on our toothpick here. Let's take screw number 1. You just want to spread it evenly in the threads here. Let's go ahead and put this first one in. Doesn't really matter where you start. We'll do the back one first. Now, there's something very important to be said about this being an aluminum receiver. You want to screw until it's tight, just tight. And then literally just give it one more little oomph. That is all you need to do on the aluminum receiver. If you start cranking on this, you're going to strip your receiver and you're going to be pissed. So go ahead and continue this for all 4 screws. Now that we have all those put in with the thread lock, and remember, not too tight, you're going to strip your receiver, you're going to ruin your f***ing gun. What I do as a precaution is I go ahead and flip the rifle upside down and I let that sit there and go to sleep. Like 6-8 hours. That'll give the thread lock time to set up. It's upside down, so if there's any extra, it's not going to run into the action at all. So be patient. If you want to do it the right way, be patient. Put it in there, flip it upside down, come back in 6 hours to put everything else on. So I'll be back in 6 hours. And we're back. Did you survive? Did you survive leaving your rifle for 6 hours? I hope so. I did. I just woke up. So let's continue on to the next step, shall we? So the next step is going to be putting the scope rings onto the base. And there's a ton of different types of rings out there. But what I was told by a family friend to use was the Burris signature rings, and I have used them a couple times, and I have never ever found a better ring. You can adjust the windage and elevation just with the inserts, and what the inserts do is they protect your scope, and you don't have to lap the ring, so it fits perfectly. So that's what I've chosen to use here. Now, because this is a weaver base with the slots, I went ahead and I'm using the weaver style rings, and they have a bar. I'll show you a close up here. But they have a bar in there to help further alleviate any movement on the rings. Like I said, these have a bar in them, so just unscrew that, take the bar out, and then slide it on. And I'm just going to finger tighten this, because we may have to move the rings around a little bit, but for right now that'll do. So go ahead and put that one on, and the back one. Now what we want to do is we just want to get a rough fitting of how the scope's going to look. So we're going to go ahead and take these screws out to get the top half of the ring off. Go ahead and put insert in there. It might almost be perfect. Or I'm not tightening down anything yet. I just want to see where this is going to be when I check eye relief. And I'm just going to put this up to my eye quick just to see where the eye relief is at. So we can take these back off. Now, because I like these rings where I want them, I'll go ahead and tighten those down. I'm going to set mine to 20 inch-pounds. These aren't all the way tight, and as you can see, even with that bar, they move back and forth a little bit. Okay, so what you want to do is push it all the way forward, and then tighten it down. And like I said, I'm tightening to 20 inch-pounds. There, locked in place. What we're going to do is level the rifle. And what I do, obviously with a level, there's a bubble and two lines. So instead of trying to get the bubble perfectly in between the two lines, I'm going to go ahead and look at it straight on and make so the bubble is touching one of the lines. So it's the bubble, the edge of the bubble is touching this line. So that way when I level the scope, I make sure that that touches the right line, then I know it's perfect. So the rifle is leveled right now. The level up on top, and turn the scope until the bubble touches the right line. The rifle's level and the scope is level. So we got the rifle level, the scope is level, and we'll go ahead and put the top rings on. Screws in. Not tight. Okay, and this is just to hold it in place. So we're not torquing down the screws yet. We're just getting it so the scope doesn't move around on us. Now I'm also going to set this for 20 inch-pounds. And the goal here is to keep the space in between the top ring and the bottom ring even. So it's evenly distributed. It's kind of like doing lug nuts in a car. Okay, there's 20 on that one, 20 on that one, 20 on that one, 20 on the last one. So now I got the space even on both sides. They're all set to 20 inch-pounds. Make sure it's still level. Perfect. So that is the basic mounting of the scope. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put more thread lock on those. And we're just going to do one at a time. Now because they're all tightened, I'm just going to unscrew one. Put thread lock on it and screw it to 20 inch-pounds again. Just straight to 20. Okay, that one's set. Alright. Scope is mounted. Only thing left to do is to bore sight it and take it to the range. Hopefully this video was somewhat helpful. And of course, if you guys have any questions or comments or want to tell me how I did it wrong, please feel free to comment. With that said, hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you later. Thanks for watching.